Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be looking at Smokey Rameriz. Now the last video I put out was talking about an artist called Hollywood Six, one of a duo that do a channel called Trash Talkers and a segment called Rappers React.
What's going on, everybody? We're back with another segment of Rappers React.
And I said yesterday, I wanted to check each one of them out individually. They've done a few collabs together, Smokey featuring Hollywood Six or Hollywood Six featuring Smokey Rameriz, but I wanted to check them out individually. Now, the last video I checked out Hollywood Six, a track called Psychopathy, which was quite a hard-hitting song, it was talking about, possibly like talking about mental health, depression, that sort of thing. And I mentioned yesterday I have a lot of respect for these two, with their YouTube channel, because they cover a lot of heavy metal, and they mentioned like many years ago, before YouTube and stuff like that, they would never have checked out heavy metal because they had that impression that a lot of people get, that heavy metal is all loud noise, evil, didn't mean anything, or they were talking about Satanism and stuff like that. They've admitted as much, and I respect them for that. And I respect the fact that they've actually taken it upon themselves to look into this and find out, the sort of real depth and meanings that go in to heavy metal music, So I have a huge respect for these two. So like I said, today I'm going to be looking at a Smokey Rameriz track called An Easy Escape. As with when I checked out Hollywood Six yesterday, I don't have any lyrics for the track, but I just want to find out what these individual artists sound like when they're doing their solo work, because they don't seem to put it they don't seem to put it forward when they do their channel. They don't talk about their own individual music very much. The closest thing you get to it is the intro song to their channel, which I believe is done by Hollywood Six. And, I enjoyed Hollywood Six's track that I listened to yesterday, so let's find out what we've got today. Like I said, the track is called An Easy Escape. So let's jump into it and have a look.
Sometimes I wish I can leave. Sometimes I don't notice me. 'Cause every day I'm getting closer to the edge, and in my head I found an easy escape. Take me away, now can you relate? Sometimes I wish I could leave.
My life's an open book, only missing a pair of pages. Decipher paragraphs and a pair of lines that paraphrases. There's a missing section that tells of a pair of crazies that raised me from a child, not sharing blood. They couldn't save me from the conflict of my mind, always searching for the rhyme to find the things that no one finds in a place devoid of time spent. Solitary confinement, voluntary assignment, in a mental warp in a falling fort that's missing all alignment. Now death is coming for me, I can feel it getting closer. The Reaper's hands are cold, and the cloak that he pulls over is dark as a black hole, the falling sun, the supernova, the morning star in the dead of night, to recycle life and turn it over. Times I get to thinking life be better if I was dead. From the start, there's broken hearts, we misled and underfed. If you don't hear from me tomorrow, you might want to check my bed. Life soaking through my black sheets, spray missing from my hair, yeah.
Sometimes I wish I can leave. Sometimes I don't notice me. 'Cause every day I'm getting closer to the edge, and in my head I found an easy escape. Take me away, now can you relate? Sometimes I wish I could leave.
There we go. An Easy Escape by Smokey Rameriz. And similarly to the track I checked out by Hollywood 6, another sort of really deep and powerful piece of music. Again, seems to be talking about like depression, anxiety, and mental health sort of thing. Completely coincidental, I just picked out the two newest tracks I could find by each of them. The fact that they're both talking about a similar subject was complete coincidence. He's got a very, very different style to Hollywood 6. You know, his flow, as it were, I hate using that word because it just doesn't sound right coming from me, is quite different. You know, Hollywood 6 has got a more sort of rapid fire sort of style, whereas Smokey's got a sort of more laid back, it's a sort of slower style. I mean, I don't know what any of his other tracks sound like. He might actually have some more rapid fire style vocals. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, this is the first time I've actually checked out either of their music individually. But again, you know, a deep, powerful song. You know, he included lines like, you know, I wish I was dead, things like that, or I would have been better off dead, that sort of thing. And of course, there's that imagery of him getting back into his bed and there's that gun beside him. And there was a line earlier, you know, if you don't see me tomorrow, check my bed, because, you know, he'll either want to be shutting himself off and keeping him away from people, or he might have offed himself, you know. So, you know, I've said a few times in the past, you know, I do like rap music. I do listen to rap music and hip hop, but there's a large proportion of hip hop that just sort of revolves around dissing each, you know, there's these things called diss tracks in hip hop and rap, you know, and that's not something you really particularly get in metal. I'm not saying it doesn't happen at all, but it's not as a common thing as it is in hip hop. And much as I hate to say it, hip hop does have quite it has a long history of violence added to it. You know, lots of things like gang wars and, you know, these people taking diss tracks personally and going out and popping each other off. You know, Eminem covered that in the track Toy Soldiers, which is a really powerful piece of music. It's a wonderful, wonderful track, you know, and every now and then you get a really sort of deep, meaningful and powerful piece of music like we got with Hollywood 6 and Smokey here. You know, so similarly to the way they admitted, you know, they had this misconception about what heavy metal was, but then they went and checked it out and realised they were wrong, and they've admitted, you know, they were wrong. You know, they shouldn't have judged it before checking it out. The same can be said about rap and hip-hop music, because, you know, you get a lot of these rap songs talking about busting caps in asses and, you know, dissing each other and, you know, talking about drugs and all this and, you know, beating up hookers and shit like that. You know, people get under the impression that that is all that hip-hop music is about, but it's not. You know, you do get deep, meaningful, powerful tracks like Psychopathy by Hollywood 6, Easy Escape here by Smokey Rameriz, and even things like Toy Soldiers by Eminem, you know. So it does happen, you know. We need to get past this misconception of, you know, what we think music is. We should go out and actually explore it. You know, check it out, find out what it's really about. And, you know, this is, like I said in the Hollywood 6 video, this is what I respect about these two. You know, they were under that misconception all those years ago, you know, before the internet and stuff. You know, they would never have listened or touched heavy metal, you know, for anything. But now they've actually sort of taken the time to check it out, find out what it really is, find out what it's really about, you know, take the time to understand it. They've actually sat there and gone, you know what, this is actually pretty good. This is actually pretty deep. And I really respect them for it, you know, and the fact that they've actually admitted themselves, you know, that they didn't know anything about it. They had this preconception, you know, and then they've gone, you know what, we were wrong, you know, and I really respect them for that. So, yeah. Went off on a bit of a tangent there. But anyway, like I said with the Hollywood 6 video, I was just curious to see what these artists were like individually. You know, they do, like I said, they have got a couple of collaborative tracks as well, which I might check out at some point as well. But yeah, I quite enjoyed that. But I don't know what else I can say about it, so I'll leave that as it is. If you enjoyed this video, please consider and give it a like, maybe even subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, because it does help me out considerably. But yeah, I'm going to leave that as it is. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
My life's an open book, only missing a pair of pages. Decipher paragraphs and a pair of lines that paraphrases. There's a missing section that tells of a pair of crazies that raised me from a child, not sharing blood. They couldn't save me from the conflict of my mind, always searching for the rhyme to find